Okay, I've been getting quite a number of questions about what it is the problem set is asking us to do. And it is a little confusing, so I wanted to do a video to see if I could help clear some of the ideas of classes and how to create the test app and all that sort of thing. So let's work on a sample problem together. So I'm sure this looks familiar to you. So we're in the Visual C# console application, and I'm going to create a dog class with a test dog application. And so I'm going to call this, or what you might call this one, let's just start off with our namespace, whatever the problem number is, exercise 04, or whatever the problem might happen to be. And then our solution can be dog app, whatever. So then when I click on OK, I can see my solution is the dog app, my namespace is this problem set that we're working on, and I have this class program. Okay, well, the first thing we're going to do is delete the using statements we aren't using. So the next thing what I'd like to do is I'm going to rename this class program. And so right click on this class program and choose rename. And I'm going to call this my dog app. So this is my dog application. This is a little reminder saying, are you sure you want to rename everything that's pertinent? Yes, I do. And so now I have this class dog app, which is my test application. I also want to create a dog class. Now you can create the dog class below the dog app class. I could have a dog app class and then run it from here. The problem with this idea is that now in order to, if I wanted to create a test class, a test application that uses a dog class, another assignment, I would have to come in here and copy and paste all of this because there's already a main and this is already tied in with another file. It's tied in with this dogapp.cs file. So a better way to do this is to delete that, and I'll come into my solution here, right click on the project name, I'm going to add another class, and now I'm going to create the dog class. So I didn't have to do anything, class was already selected. I'm going to click on dog and add. So now I have two files. One is the dog.cs file and the dogapp.cs file. So I want to create this dog class in such a way that I could use it, it's versatile, it stands by itself. I can use it in any other application that wanted to import or use this dog.cs file. So it needs to stand independent of anything that wants to use it. And I'll try and explain that a little bit more as we go along. So I'm going to start in this dog class and sort of write some things that might be pertinent to a dog class. So perhaps the dog, oops, I have to spell string properly. Sting, nope, string. Perhaps this dog has a breed. Dog could have perhaps, let's see if I can spell right, a name. And we're going to give it also a birth year. Okay, so these are all private, which means that I need to have getters and setters in order to get these values in my application. So these are now private to just this dog. So all of these variables are available just to this dog class. But if I want to access any of these from the dog app, I need to provide getters and setters. So here's a little shortcut. If I use the word prop, tab twice, and then put in the word string. Remember, this needs to be capitalized. Now I have a getter and setter. I'm not doing anything with the getters and setters, so this is a little shortcut you can use if you want, since I'm not attaching any initialization for the moment. So again, I'm going to prop, tab, type over my string. This will be capital name, and then prop, tab, int, birth year, with a capital, and now I have getters and setters for my private variables. Okay, So now that I have that, I think I'll also create a public method. I'm going to type and then talk. I'm going to create a calculate age. I'm going to receive an int. I'm going to call it dog age. Okay, so I'm also creating a method, an instance method that's particular to the instance or the object that's created. It's specific to the object that's created, the dog object. Notice my little underscore. This method is, Visual Studio is a little upset because I'm not returning anything at the moment. I told Visual Studio that I'm going to return an int, but I currently am not returning anything, so that's what that red underline is for. So I would have to return something because I said I was going to return an int. I'm copied and pasted some code in here for you. And we haven't gone over this date object yet, but if you want to copy this code, this is a way that you can pull out the current year. So we'll go over this in future chapters. So the idea here is that I am creating a method that receives the dog age, which needs to be an integer. I'm going to calculate I'm going to grab the current system date year, and then I'm going to return, so that gets rid of my squiggly line here in a second. I'm going to return the current year minus the dog age that I received. So I'm calculating a year. Notice I'm not printing the year from here. I'm not doing a write line here in this class. The idea behind the class is it needs to stand alone. So I leave it up to the application that calls this dog class to decide how they want to handle the information. How do they want to display the age? I'm not going to make that decision here in the class. I'm simply going to return the calculation. Okay, so now I think I have a dog class pretty well set up. So I could pull this dog.cs file into any application I want to, and it creates a blueprint of the dog, and it leaves it up to the implementation of whoever called it to decide what they want to do with the data. So that's where we're going to go back to the dog app. So that's where this dog app comes into play. The idea here is that I'm writing a test application that'll test my dog class to make sure I created it correctly, to make sure it's working as I had intended. And again, that it's kind of independent of itself and can be used from any application. So let's go ahead and implement or let's create an instance to start with. An instance of my dog. I'm going to create a new dog. Okay. And we'll apply some of these my dog dot. Let's give it a breed. My dog is a lab. So this instance of my dog is a lab. We'll call my dog. Oh, I left out, there's a birth year, okay. Birth year is equal to 2014, let's say. And then let's create an age. So age equals to my dog, calculate age. And it's showing me that Visual Studio is showing me I need to give it a int dog age. Well, I have an int dog age. I gave it birth year, so my dog dot birth year. So I'll send it that property. Okay. And so if everything worked out correctly, I'll get back an age, a breed. Let's give it a whirl. So we're going to do a write line. Well, I guess I can't do write line without using a using statement. So let's do, well, I can, but I need to qualify it first, so I don't want to write that each time. So remember, we can use static system.console. So I don't have to keep writing that. Now my write line works. Write line, we're going to use that string formatting, which says that in these quotes I can put literally exactly what I want output to the screen. So my dog is a I'm going to use this placeholder that says put a variable that I require here in a variable here in this placeholder of 0. That's the first placeholder. My dog is A, and we'll put in the breed, and we'll say who is, and then we'll put in the second placeholder with the 1 years old, which means we now need to specify what variables need to be put into the 0 and the 1. So the first placeholder, we want to put in my dog dot breed, and then a comma, and in the second placeholder, which is where we have this brace 1, we want to put in the age that we calculated. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, just for curiosity, is hit Shift Control B as in build, and I'm going to run it to make sure I don't have any syntax errors. Everything looks good. I could also run it as well, but this is just a shortcut to make sure that everything is building properly, that it's going to compile. So now if I hit run or start, I guess I couldn't see it because I left out the infamous read key, so let's try that. And then I can run it again. And sure enough, my dog is a lab who is 3 years old. So I hope that helps in the short run get some ideas about how we're implementing some of the sample problems that we're being given. The idea, again, is that we're creating a class that stands alone. It has to exist independent of how it's going to be used. So it's simply providing us with a blueprint of what a dog can look like. We're then creating with this dog app a separate file, separate dog app.cs file, that's testing to make sure, testing the implementation of our dog class. And so here is where we allow whatever is going to be written to the screen, however the user wants to use that information after the dog is created. So I hope that helps clear up some of the questions I've been getting about how am I supposed to set up the sample. I think the receipt and the employee class is what we're working on in the moment. So hopefully this gives you some insight.